him.
Wait, I'm missing it.
Rachel, you're muted down at the bottom. Hit the mic button, and then we can hear you.
Oh my God.
Okay. Look at him.
Look at all his hair.
I know he's got a lot.
I love it.
He is. He's like waking up from his nap. He's the sweetest.
Well, you look beautiful. He looks beautiful.
You. Here. My mom's over here watching him. It's just her excuse to hold him all day long.
That's right.
Like she needs one.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how I want to share this, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to. We have to do a Google Meet and we have to do a Zoom call today, so I'm trying to figure out how to make the best use of our time here, use of space. So bear with me while I do that. If I put it up there. Oh. Hello, Kristen. Good morning, Maria. Maria, I've got an envelope for you here in the office.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'll walk back there and get it. We're going to start in about 1 minute, even though it looks like there's not many people. Well, there's Gracie here in the office. So, and Joanna's, you're not in here.
I'm coming.
You better get on in there. There's Andrew walking in.
So we're gonna call everybody out. I know. You're right.
Hey, Kristen, your mother's business cards are in the back in Rachel's office on that up on the file cabinet. So when you get a chance, or Kelly gets a chance, y'all can come by here and grab that.
And Kristen,
Okay, thank you. What?
I slapped you. This is Joanna.
Oh, okay. I'll reading it now.
All right. Well, Holly, Tasha, I'm gonna need y'all. I need Holly and Tasha for the update. Say again. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I was going to have Holly and Tasha do their update first, but they're in a meeting with Jimmy. So we'll go ahead and let me hit this real quick. Our core value today is we reject the status quo and encourage innovation. We hate complacency and are always looking for ways to do what we do better. Our team members are encouraged to think outside the box and innovate. As a company, we pivot fast and often, always looking for ways to improve and find the better way. So I'm going to spin that a little bit into what we're going to be talking about today, which is Rechat and learning to use it better. They're going to join us in 15 minutes to go through a bunch of stuff. So we will we'll hit that in just a few minutes. Let me go through. I wanted to remind you that under the quick links on the backside is the new referral program. I don't know if I can show that to you, but I'm going to try.
This all for the meeting today?
Everybody's walking in. Everybody's coming in. How are you, Jen?
Hi, good. How are you?
We just got started. Let me see that. Open that link and share that tab. So not that one. Hang on. Brian's losing his mind here. I wanted to go to the back. And I wanted to share where this is. Let me share that screen. Share that. Okay, now you should be able to see the backside at this point. And so here is where the internal referrals is located. This is the internal from, oh, you guys can't see it. Hang on. Let me put that here. Okay, so backing up, if I can, I'm getting really confused right now. I'm really sorry. Put that over there. Go back. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there, on the backside, under the quick reference links right there is where the 6th Avenue internal referrals is located. And that'll get you here, which goes through all of the things that they're doing as far as making connections between design, construction, pool and outdoor. And you can even refer over to storytelling. So just so y'all know that that is there. Let me see what's next on my list. The new folders are here, and I'll grab those. If y'all haven't grabbed your folders yet, please grab some. Start using those. Next Wednesday, there will be no mastermind. So there's not a meeting next Wednesday. There is an onboarding orientation meeting. I'll be here at 10 o'clock, just like I was today, to help people get through things, figure things out. If you need help, please come do that. It's mainly for newer agents, but if you've got an issue and you're an experienced agent and you want some fun help from Brian, I'll give you some time. Next Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Summer training starts in a week, I guess. 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Can't believe it's summer.
It's summer. Yeah, school's out this Friday. For you, Friday, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. So ours is out this on Friday. And so not the 29th is next week. That's the onboarding orientation meeting. The week after that, we start our summer series and we're going to go for 9 weeks. I've got sponsors every week coming in to bring us something to eat. It's not always eggs. It's not always donuts either. So I've asked them to bring just different stuff and bring whatever they want to bring. So that'll start on the 5th of June and run all the way through the 2nd week of August. Probably will start 100 Days to Greatness again in the fall and might be running Pathway to Mastery as well. And that'll be for everybody that's completed 100 Days to Greatness. You can go into Pathway to Mastery and it's a little bit cheaper class. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to this one, share this tab. So where'd it go? It's over there. It's okay. Well, it's not showing you guys, but let me show. Hang on. Let me close this. And then I'll pull this up here. That's going to be weird. Okay. So there's the party on the patio. Come on here. The party on the patio. Okay, got it. Why y'all doing that? Party on the patio flyer. This will be, I'll put a link to this in the Slack message that I send out later today. It's going to be June the 15th, which is coming up in just like 4 weeks, I guess. Yeah,
Something like that.
3.5 weeks, something like that. So they've lined up a cigar bar. They're going to have a tattoo, a small tattoo, flash tattoo thing that they're doing. And then there's going to be my friend David Sawyer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Remington. What's so funny? How are you?
So I now have 5.5 teeth,
Oh, wow.
so I will be probably stepping out.
But my friend David Sawyer that I went to high school with, haven't seen him in literally 40 years, is going to be here. He's a character artist and he's really good. It's fun. So he'll be here, but that's June the 15th, 7:30 to 10 p.m. And that's here at the office. And of course, all of our sponsors are down here. So we'll be talking with those people as well. I think that's everything I need to hit from my perspective. Jimmy has a couple of things. I'm just going to burn some time here to be straight up honest with you. What are y'all seeing in the market? Are you seeing buyers? Are you seeing sellers? Are you seeing things sit? What's going on?
Everything's rather for me. Yeah. What are you gonna say? Everything's moving.
Well, except Arlington Avenue.
Yeah.
That house, we're gonna take it off the market and then put it back in like 30 days.
31.
31 days, yes. I did verify that the other day.
31 days.
Okay. Yes, we are gonna do that and do a little drainage because we had all that rain. And I feel like even on the house on College, we had the same thing come up on inspection. It was like drainage stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's just the luck of the draw. I don't know why, but it's
Weird.
certain areas and some things are like going that weekend. Some things are sitting, some things are just sitting all the time.
I'm seeing the houses that are really ready to go are getting multiple offers, and the houses that are just like, not really gonna do much. Those are the ones that are kind of sitting, like nobody wants to update anything because they're asking this certain amount of money. And then you walk in the house, you're like, it needs all of these things. So
Right.
then everyone's like, I'm gonna go look at a new build. So like, that's just kind of, as far as resale homes go, is what I'm noticing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a listing coming in Trophy Club that I'll be doing a broker open on the 30th. So it's still in the works, but did a lot of research on the other properties in the area. We'll be listing at 1.1 million. So bring all your buyers. And then my evil plan is to go and steal all the listings that haven't sold because their agents overpriced them. So evil plan.
Hey, Patty, I need just your headshot, not the whole team's, I think those two are good for Frank and Ashley, but I need just your face.
It's in there.
No, I see Frank, I see Ashley, I see, let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Okay. It didn't pop up. Okay. Got it. I'll send that over to them.
Patty, what's the address on that listing that you have coming up?
At Trophy Club,
Yes.
the address,
Yes.
2217 Abbey in
Okay.
Trophy Club.
I
Pool.
have when is it? You said it's coming live next week?
Yeah, we'll do a broker open on the 30th. We'll go live on the 31st, and I'll do open houses on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, cool. I have a client coming from New York, and I'm gonna look at it for him.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's great. We just took pictures last night, so I'll be getting all of the flyers and everything ready. I'll send it to you guys.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I also have a
Um,
listing in Burleson coming up for under $290. If you have any buyers, and it's actually really cute. So if you have
Nice.
anybody in Burleson, first time, it's a cutie.
I would love for you
did-
guys to take your listings and put them in the listings channel on Slack. If you're not subscribed to the listings channel, please subscribe there, and let's put all of our listing stuff in there as opposed to the guides channel. Let's use the guides channel as conversation. General is for everybody. That's construction, design, storytelling, everybody. Guides is just for us in conversation. And then the listings, let's put anything you want to put listing wise, put it in the listings channel, please.
That's a good call.
Okay. Jimmy, you have 2 updates for us. Phil,
How much time do I have?
we have 5 minutes.
Okay. Angela, I see you coming in. I have a couple of bigger. I'm gonna stand over here. Where can I stand?
It'll pick you up in just a minute. Once it hears your
I'm gonna stand
voice.
behind someone. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So a couple announcements. Cherie is our brokerage manager in Bell County. And so we have been having several conversations over the past several months. And she has been asking for more of a traditional brokerage experience, kind of like a Keller Williams Remax. We were talking about kind of the needs of that. And what I mean by that is she really wanted a place where she could just come into the office and just like stay there all day. And as you guys know, that's not really 6 Ave style. We don't like make you answer phone calls or do that thing. We don't have like mandatory office hours. We don't have like, other than this meeting, we truly try to make like, this is your business. We want you to handle it your way. If you need anything, we are here for you. We want to support you. But it's less about kind of like you as an employee, and it's more about you as a customer. We want to serve you guys. Whereas Remax, Keller Williams, those types of things are more like, you're our employee. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And so Cherie was really voiced a lot of that and said, I really like that like culture a little bit better. And so we kind of like, as we were kind of like moving along, and then also just a physical office. And then all of our Bell County agents weren't going to the office. They were just like, doing our normal Wednesday thing, come in, and then I'll see you later. I'm gonna go do my agent stuff. And so anyways, we felt like it would just be a better fit for her to go to another, like find another brokerage. And it's no different. Like whenever, I don't know if you guys remember, any new agent I talk to, I'm like, hey, sometimes this is a good fit for you. Sometimes it's not. Here's how we do things. And sometimes it's a good fit. Sometimes it's not. And like, it just kind of just felt like it was constantly like, I feel like I was like trying to create a new brokerage to like fit kind of needs. And she was feeling the same way. And so we felt like it would be better to kind of like part ways. And so because of that, we didn't really like have a physical need for our office. And so we were like, we're going to pause leasing the office for now. And we're going to continue to have like, we just hired another agent in Bell County. So still do the brokerage out there, but we're gonna wait to find like maybe a better brokerage manager that fits the mold before we like start an office again out there, like a physical place. So just a quick update there. If you have any questions or anything like that, just let me know. I can try to make it short and sweet. But it does speak to a core value though. I wanted to share of like, we keep our team small and curated, partnering with the right people, right? Like that's a core value of ours, because we don't.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But we don't believe that our brokerage is for everybody. We don't. 6 out is not for everybody. It's not a good fit for everybody. It's not like, oh, you're doing something so much better than everybody else. It's like, no, we don't. Like Compass is better at X, you know, Clearways is better at Y. Another boutique brokerage, I'm sure, is better at something else. And it's just good. Like let them be better at those things. For us, at 6 Ave, entrepreneurial culture, collaborative culture, belief in core values to a like extreme degree. Like business, your business, focused on you growing your business and not our business. It's a little bit different, and sometimes that works for people, sometimes it doesn't. But we don't want to bend to fit anybody else's need. We just want to be who we are, and then that's it. And well, I don't know, it speaks to the core value, and I do like that. I do think that if you don't stand for something, you don't stand for anything, you know, kind of thing.
Fall
Yeah.
for anything.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying.
If you try to please everybody, you please nobody.
Yeah. So you got to stand for something, and we have our things. So Maria, last thing, I know I got like 1 minute. So Phil, personal update for Phil. It's just been on a roller coaster of like figuring out stuff it's going good, and then figuring out stuff and it's going bad, and we're on an upswing last week, and then this week we're on a downswing. And so what it's looking like is that he is probably going to be needing a heart transplant. So it's a pretty serious heart failure, more than they originally thought for the past month. And so just pray for him. He's a good friend of mine personally. We've been like deer hunting together for years, and so he just is close to his family and his son. So just me personally, I love him, and then so just pray for him and his family. And then second, just logistically, so I asked that just personally as a friend, for you guys to do that. But from a business owner, for me, I think loving him well, what it looks like is I can go up there and give him hugs all day, but for me to love him well is to carry on business and like make sure he has something really foundational set for his family to come back to, even if it's part-time or half, whatever it needs. And then I can continue to like make money to provide for his family. And like we're gonna set money aside for him and his family no matter what, like period. And so I'm going to continue doing pull outdoor because like that's the right thing to do just as a business owner. And so if you have any pulling outdoor referrals, those are back on as of today. I hired another designer to fill in the gaps. Pool designer, he is incredible. He's really freaking good. Phil's one of Phil's like really good friends. So if you have any pulling outdoor leads, bring them to me. Myself and this Kyle McDaniel, he has his own little design company. We're going to partner and take all leads on, and then we have a project manager that will handle all the construction. Who's been working with Phil for 20 years. So as far as the quality, it's the same exact quality. I will be handling it personally, so it's going to like get taken care of and organized, and like it will be.
Not another time.
If you guys know anything about me, I will not squander leads. That is like one thing I will not do. And then also there's another layer of this is serious to me. So so if you got leads, tell me. And I know
We're in Rechat.
Rechat time. Sorry guys.
Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna share it up.
Absolutely okay.
Thank you for giving us a couple of minutes to finish up our meeting.
Absolutely. No worries at all from our end. I'd ask how everyone's doing, but so I'm sorry to hear that is just absolutely awful. I'll be thinking, I don't know Phil personally, but I will be thinking of him for that, and hopefully he gets a heart transplant soon.
Thank you.
Of course, Brian, if it's okay, I'm gonna log into your account. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do everything. All right, perfect. All right, let me pull up my screen here and start sharing. I will record this session so that way if there's anyone on the team that couldn't make it, They'll have access to this afterwards, and we'll make sure that gets shared with you all. And let me go. Yep, I'm sharing my screen. I don't have any slide decks or anything. Let me hit record here.
Recording in progress.
Perfect. So a little bit about what we're going to be doing today is taking you on a journey through Rechat, getting you all familiar with it. We're going to act like we just got a listing, and we're going to take you through what that potentially looked like. And we're going to give you some time at the end, about like 10 minutes or so, to ask any questions that you have. It could be about what we just covered, or if you have a question that's been burning in the back of your head about Rechat, we'll make sure we have time for that at the end of our time together. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm excited to show you anything here. If I start talking too fast, please stop me. It's a New England thing, but we'll try to purposely slow down. But yes, so as you all know, when you first log into Rechat, you are brought into your today page. And the way I would think of this is as pretty much your schedule of what's going on today within the next week. So it gives you about 7 days worth of information up front of any celebrations you have for your clients. So birthdays, home, wedding, anniversaries, you can already kind of see that right here in the 2 contacts. On Brian's, he has Blake and Nicole Roll's birthdays coming up, Rachel's, John and Cindy's birthdays. He's an auto reminder, and auto reminders are built off of tags, and you're creating your tags within Rechat. You are able to set them up so that you can say, okay, every 30 days for my tag buyer, please remind me that it's time to stay in contact with them. And that goes out, as you can see, on the 2 contacts. If you're an Apple user and you have notifications turned on with your mobile device, you can get push notifications through there. And I'm sure you're all familiar with it. You get a Rechat daily email, and all of that stuff will also filter into there as well. It may have gone to a spam folder. So if it has, just go in there and mark it as saved. It's built to remind you what's coming up and what's going on. And then below that, you have your to-dos. So as you're working with deals, which we won't cover today because I don't want to break everyone's brains, because we're going to be covering a lot, and I want you all to leave here being like, all right, we're good. We're not too overwhelmed. But this is going to fill out with deals information. So those transaction due dates that are on there. If you add reminders like, oh, I need to meet with this client for coffee, open houses, will all filter in your to-dos. And this also goes about a week in advance and also appears in your daily email that you're going to get for Rechat. So we are going to go over a bit of marketing, and their journey of what we're going to take you through is how to advertise your property through agent network, how you can set up an email template, a social template, a single property website, and then also how you can set an open house for that. What you should also get from Rechat is anytime you get a listing or there's a change in the listing, you should also be getting an email from us that has marketing automation. So it's going to have ready to send emails and social templates. So you can access that quickly from that email, but also you can quickly access that from the today page. So you can see here, I have 3 properties already featured here. I can quickly tap into this. And the way I think this page is a one-stop shop for your marketing needs. I can quickly access agent network tool, which we're going to go over, to advertise this property out, whether I'm like, I don't know what happened. It was just listed. Oh, hello.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. You're absolutely fine. I have a small child at home, and to make you all laugh, when she was 5, she was the pandemic, and I was at a client meeting, and she was just in the background screaming something, and my client was like, "Oh, was that a cat?" And I'm like, "Nope, that is just my kid." It's just so I totally get it. Do not worry about it. But it's exciting. You can show the baby on camera, and that's absolutely fine too.
I was gonna say, I don't know where it is. I'll show you later. Back to you.
You can access the agent network tool from here, the open house registration page, and you're also able to create your single property websites. You don't necessarily have to do this directly with this page. I just like it because I can see and access every single piece and every feature right through this page. I have templates ready to go for emails, social posts, Instagram stories that are loading right here at the bottom, and I can just quickly tap in and access those. I'm going to show where you can access each one of these individual components on their own, just in case you're like, oh, I forget this exists. So it's kind of like at the bottom of the today page. But I love this page for that reason. And then just to take you on a tour of the left-hand navigation, just in case you're not familiar with it, we have our quick create button, and that's just going to create like one-off emails. That's just plain text emails. You can quickly create tasks or reminders to say like, oh, I need to do this. Your log activity, the way I would think about this is you call a client and you want to log that conversation with them. The log activity is going to be a great way to do that. There is a way to do it through the mobile app as well. So if you tap into a contact record, tap phone, and to call them, it pulls up the log activity tray. That way, as you're talking to them, you can start typing your notes away, which is really cool. You can create your one-off contacts. I need somebody new. You can also do this on the go as well, which is incredible. I just quickly type their contact information and it gets added into your people or your CRM. You also have your deals right here, so I can quickly create deals through here. My open house registration page, and I can also quickly create my tour sheet. So you're able to create, it's a PDF printout to provide to your buyers of a tour where you're like, oh, we're going this weekend to see all these different open houses. Here's the PDF that you can write notes on, or through the mobile app, you can actually share the tour sheet and share turn-by-turn directions with them for Google Maps. And it's going to already be in the order, so you can drag and drop the properties in whatever order that they would go in, and then they can manage that from there, which I love that, because I hate typing in addresses into Google Maps. I'm very clumsy with it, and that takes care of all that for you for it. Okay.
I don't care.
I just want to make sure I know.
No.
I just want to be respectful of that.
Show whatever you need to show. I share pretty much everything that I have with these people anyway.
Perfect. It sounds like you all are close.
These people.
I love that. So you have your people center. I'll just go ahead and tap in since Brian said it was okay. So you should see all your contacts here, their first, last name, their email address, phone numbers, your tags. You can add tags on this page. The last time you were in touch with them, this column and the next touch date fill in automatically for you based on how you're managing the contact records. If you add a tag to them and you set up the auto reminder to reach out every 2 months, that next touch will fill in here. Or if you updated their contact record, it looks like Brian just updated Alan's 2 hours ago, that's going to reflect here. It's going to tell you that. What I love about this page is you can filter out, and I'm not going to change yours, Brian, but you can sort this page out by last touch. So that way you can see, okay, when was the last time I actually got in contact with this client? It's been a few months. Let's go ahead and send them some type of marketing email and get them back on our radar, or get them on our radar here. It doesn't look like you're using flows here, but you can quickly enroll them into those flows. That's that drip campaign. You can do that automated cadence of emails. I recently just saw someone do it as setting up touch points with their clients like every 30 days. And it was just simple as, all right, in 30 days, follow them on a social media account. 30 days later, comment on a photo on their Instagram. It was very, very simple, but it was very robust. And it was like 37 steps. It was really incredible. And scrolling over, we can see their birthdays, their home anniversaries, and address in here. If you tap into a contact record, you'll get that bigger view here. And if you're okay with it, Brian, I'm going to go ahead and just tap right into Alan because he's right at the top of my list.
Yep.
And I can see quickly, it's just like little card. I think about this as all the important information you need to know up front. I can see their names, their tags, their phone number, and email address. And then scrolling down, I can see we contacted him about 2 hours ago. I can see his contact information. If I tap more, I can see all of his information that isn't filled out, his flows, his touch dates. You can always add more. And you don't necessarily have to do like a child's birthday if they don't have children. A lot of people just have pets now. So you can put it as their pet instead and just fill that in that way, which is really cool. And I'm not sure if you all know this about these other dates here, but you do still get reminded when those other birthdays or the work anniversaries come up. So that way, if you wanted to acknowledge it with your client still, you could. It won't send out anything automatically. You'll just say, oh, it's child's birthday instead. But addresses, deals if it's connected, any further details, spouse, partner information is on here. And then anything upcoming. So if you scheduled anything such as an email to go out for them, birthdays, reminders, those will also come up. Your history is going to show any previous contact that you've had with them, any past emails you sent them. If you logged a call, we just see there's an add activity log button here too. And there's also notes here, it's just tapping notes. And well, I'm going to say I love everything about Rechat, and not just because I work here. I truly love a lot of the features here, but the notes are searchable. And if you're like me and you forget everything at the drop of a hat, that's going to be incredible. You could just type right in the search contacts, type something from the notes. So if Alan under his notes said that he had a dog named Loki, I just type in Loki here and it would pull up Alan, which like to me, I think that's absolutely incredible.
Pretty cool.
That's quickly your contacts. You also have access to your calendar. This is going to pre-fill with you all those celebrations, so those birthdays, anniversaries that are coming up for your clients. It also fills in with any important date from your deals as well. So that way you can have that on your calendar. It's also going to have holidays on there too, and you can manage that as well. You can drag and drop the calendar items into different spots, so you're able to manage those dates from there. Your tasks, I call this a to-do list dream, particularly because I always have a bajillion to-do lists. I know I have one in my Gmail set up. I have 2 on my desk right now, referencing my Gmail task list and my daughter's birthday party. I just love the organization on it because you can drill it down by when it's due, the type of task it is. So if it's an open house, if it's a call, if you need to email them, you can really organize that by what you need to do. If you do have your Gmail or Outlook synced to here, if you tap inbox, you're able to see those emails within Rechat as well. So you don't necessarily need to go to your Gmail account, look to see what maybe your client sent an email. You're going to be able to see that right within Rechat, and you can respond right within Rechat as well. And then below that is your marketing center. We call them centers here. So if you hear me say the word center a lot, that's all it is. Our people center, marketing center. And within there, we have our marketing that's going to have all your templates that 6 Ab Homes has provided to you all that you can access. You should be able to edit some templates here as well. And that's going to have those email templates for properties, holidays, social media templates, which we're going to talk about too. You have your flows. Let me see if you all have any. It looks like if you have a few here. Brian, this is mainly for you. You do have some pre-filled flows that if you want Patty to share with you, we can certainly send them to you.
Yes, please.
See if that's something you would be interested in. Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
just have her
I'll
send
make
them.
note of that for you. Because that way that it's available right to the agent's accounts. They can use them or they can duplicate and customize them further on their end, which is, I think that's incredible. At least have something there to start, because I know it's a struggle sometimes to come up with the content for those. And that's going to be a perfect way to get that in and get them using it. And that could be for leads, post open houses, past clients. Really, the opportunities are endless there. Our agent network tool, which we'll definitely be visiting today. This is going to allow us to market a property to agents outside of your own network. I think that's absolutely worth its weight. You don't have to necessarily to do it to advertise that you have an open house coming up. You can do it for buyers in search of any admins on the team on the back end. You use it as a recruiting tool, which is also incredible too if you want to recruit more people to your team. You have your single property websites, pretty self-explanatory. You could feature that amazing property and really make it a selling point or a value add content to your sellers why they should work with you. You can say, hey, look at all these websites I've created for my past clients. With using this, we were able to sell their homes for X over asking price. You have your presentations, that's just your CMAs. Again, pretty self-explanatory. You can create those, and again, just another tool for you to utilize. Like, I create this beautiful presentations. Look what I showed. This is what we've done, and this is what we worked with here. Your insights. I think this is a really valuable tool for you all as well. And just to share a success story with your insights, you're able to see how well your emails are performing when you send them from Rechat. So you can see how many of your contacts it was successfully delivered to. Out of those, how many people opened your emails and how many people clicked on it. It even drives it a bit further as well, where you can look into one particular email. I'm going to pick on Brian, sorry. And maybe Brian sent out to Alan and he sent out this open house email to him. He can then check to see if Alan opened the email and how many times he did visit. It's going to give you a timestamp and a date on there. So if you see someone open up that email 10 times, you can use that to your advantage. And we've actually had a client that had success with that by tracking who opened up his email in Insight and how many people clicked on the content. And he would just send out that email. And by doing that, he was able to get an offer on a property he was selling. It's absolutely incredible. You do have your property searches. That way you can work with your buyers to help them buy their dream home. It's not so much interactive for the buyer's end, but you can still share out the properties with them, set up showings for them with the tour sheets and save searches for them. And it's going to alert you if a new property has come up, meeting the filters that you set up for that search. And your tours is where you're going to set up your tour sheets and access anything you've created. We're not going to touch upon deals today, but it is here, your transaction management piece. Brian, totally up to you if you need us to schedule a second session around transactions and deal management. Let us know, and that's something we can definitely get on the calendar for you and your team.
I think everybody would like that at some point.
All right, perfect. Patty, I'll make a note of that too, Patty, but I'm going to call you out to make a note on that as well. And I'm sure you're all familiar, we do have an incredible support team here. I hear all the time people think that they're robots because they respond so fast. They are here for you all Monday through Fridays, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. And again, on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. They are absolutely incredible. If you have the chance to chat with them, if you ever need help or have a question, definitely utilize them. They're just truly mind-blowing. I think the response time right now is under 45 seconds. And they typically get issues resolved within a half hour, which is absolutely just, I worked a lot of customer service and that's absolutely incredible for turnaround times. I will tell you that. You do have your help center here, and that's going to give you access to our workshops that you can register for. If you can't attend it because the time doesn't work, you're at a showing, still register for it. You'll get the recording. Those are usually hosted by myself, sometimes Thomas. And this is more for Brian and the team. You can set up your pages here for resources for your agents, office information, vendor information. You can even host link back to trainings in there too. So it's a great resource, and that's something Patty and I can talk to you about at a different time as well.
Okay.
And then last but not least is our what's new button. We do make frequent updates. If you tap this, it's just going to show you what's coming up or what has updated in Rechat. And this all takes you to like a quick 1 to 2 minute video guide with a quick description of what the change was. All right, that's enough about the Today page. It's all exciting. But let's actually get into the meat and potatoes of what I want to show you here today. Let me go ahead and close this out. And so we are all going to pretend we just got a new listing here. Now we want to go out and market it. So what does that look like for us on a day-to-day? And what steps would I potentially want to take to do that? We're going to start off by first kicking things off an agent network here. And I'm just going to tap agent network here. I'm going to select a property. Well, I personally, let me hide the little menu here because it's in my way. I love that this tells you exactly what's happening here. We're going to select our property first. It's going to produce that list of top agents, and then we can send out a marketing piece. It is very quick. You can find your listing on the page, or you can also put in your MLS ID or address in the top corner. I'm just going to select this first one right here because it's right there. And now what it's doing is within the zip code, it's going to pull in agents here. So it's pulled in 316. You could, if you wanted to expand this, tap on change filters and add additional zip codes. Or if you wanted to mark it outside of that zip code for that address, and this is all information coming in from the MLS, you could easily get rid of the zip code and populate another one right in here. So you can do as many as you want to really expand upon this list. But 316 is still a good number. And what now I can do is it by default selects everybody. I could, if I wanted to, add all these agents to my contacts. And if you do, it does flag them as agent networks. And by flag, I mean it's going to apply a tag of agent networks. So that way you could add them to your contacts and then utilize it because this list will refresh over time.
Did
You don't
say
necessarily
those are-
have to do that.
They live in the area, or those are agents that have sold in that area a lot?
That is agent that's sold within this area. That's a great question.
These are top selling agents in the 762 family.
Mhm. Exactly. All right, and then last but not least on this page is that e-blast button, which is going to take us into our templates here. Now, you can definitely use something you previously created and used by tapping My Designs. Looks like Brian doesn't have anything, but that's okay. We're going to do an open house here, and we just would select our template. This one looks great. It's going to bring us into the template editor here. I'm going to walk you through a few different things that you can do within it as well. So that way we have our email here. This is technically ready to send. I always recommend, because sometimes we know things don't always move over smoothly, taking a minute to actually look through the email template here. For example, if it maybe had a watermark on it and you really wanted this to look professional, you can come in here, click on the photograph, tap this edit photo button. This one doesn't have a watermark, but I could tap crop and then just drag this box over, uncheck keep aspect ratio, and adjust what has been captured as well. It's a great way to just make a quick edit. You can also, you'll notice, drag and drop additional images here. Or I can even swap if I'm like, you know what? That's a great photo of the front of the house. Trying to find a different one. Okay. This one's perfect then. But now what I can do from here, I can put in the date and time when my open house is. So it is definitely not December, thankfully. It is May. This week is Memorial Day weekend, but we're going to do an open house Saturday. It is May 25th or 6th, I think. I don't know the weekends anymore.
25th.
Put in time, and you can adjust these boxes. And I will tell you a good tip. If you're not sure if something can be edited or not, just simply hope this is a little hard to see on this template, but you'll see these blue dotted lines when you hover over a section, and that's going to tell you whether or not something can be edited here. And just to point out, this will pre-fill with whatever phone number you have entered in on your Rechat account. It'll always have the 6AB Homes logo here as well for you. Let's make some adjustments here. This is kind of small. I think we can all agree on that. So we can go ahead and change the font here. You have the two here that I'm going to do. This one's already bar condensed, but I can make this larger. So let's go ahead and do that. Make this maybe 42 so it stands out a little bit more. I can make it bold, and I can do plus other things. I can change the text color here, and it's always going to be branding colors. I'm going to do the coral, so I really want this to stand out. I could adjust the text color, field alignment. I think centered's perfect here. I could adjust the line height, and what that just means is for something like this, if you can kind of see the Y above the 0 is very close together. So I could take this line height and adjust it just to add more space upon it. I'm really picky about things like that because then it looks really condensed and close together. It can be sometimes hard to read. So just a little bit of an editing tip for you all. You do have your address information, and all the information that's pulling into these templates is everything pulling on from the MLS listing. So address information, property description, you can of course edit this here. So again, like this is a little bit small, at least for my eyes here. That makes me feel really, really old. But I can again change the font style, the size. Let's make this like a 22, make it a little bit bigger. I like everything centered aligned. So we're gonna make that adjustment here. And I can, of course, change out some text here if I wanted to. I can, if I would like to, especially if I'm maybe contacting my sphere of influence and I want them to come here. I could say, I could put right here a placeholder, do recipient's birth name, and I could do a fallback value saying, friend, hey there, whatever I want it to do. And it will only appear yellow when you're creating your template, when you're first creating this. So now when this email goes out with this placeholder here, this would drop in their name if you have it on your contact record, or would pull from that agent network list. So this would say like, hey, Patty, hi, Thomas. If it didn't have their name, that fallback value of friend would put against. That way you can make this email look really personalized as well. That it will not appear that bright yellow when it gets sent out. It will just look like the rest of your text here. And again, just a little bit of editing here. So we'll notice that this is like 4.0 bathrooms. yeah, it's just 4 bathrooms. We can make that adjustment, get rid of the 0.0, change it to the 4 bathrooms. And again, I can adjust this, make the text a little bigger. I have additional photos here I can swap out. And then before I get to the bottom, I do want to show you some tools on the right-hand side. So for my basics, I can add in, if I'm like, you know what, I don't like how this image looks, I can drop it in an image slider and create like a little slideshow instead of the blocks of images. So you can make that look really cool. If you have a video tour of this property that's hosted on YouTube or Vimeo, you could drop this right in. And I have a link for a video, so let me just grab it super quickly. Where's my, I have like a note to myself here with all my links. I just have to find it. But just show you super, super quickly. I promise I have it. It's just taken a second to load on my end. All right, so this is just a YouTube link that I'm just going to simply pop in right into the search box. You can also search the address if you know it exists. It gives us this little video. I can view it. Otherwise, I can tap select. And what this does is create a quick little GIF of that video for you. It drops it in. People love video. They love some type of content that they can engage with. So if you have one, definitely share it. If you're like, well, I don't have a video like this that looks nice. If you take your phone, whatever type of phone it is, and you do a walkthrough of the property, you absolutely can upload that too here. So if I actually tap right back into this and tap change, I could, let me actually delete this real quick. There it goes, to drag back in. Under your gallery, you can upload your own video clip as well if you wanted to. So if you took it on your phone, send it, email it to yourself, and then upload it and insert it in. So many people love videos. We had an agent create a video just talking about his secret chicken salad recipe, which sounds so silly in the gist of it. And he didn't even show his face. He just showed a counter of different ingredients. It was like, come, I'll share my recipe with you. And he got an offer by doing that, and because he did it to other brokers and other agents. And it worked for him. Didn't even have to show his face, which is incredible. So little tip on videos for you if you're like, oh, I'm not comfortable showing my face. You can do columns, headline, text. You already have it built into this particular template. But if you're ever creating one, you don't see the social media groups, you can just drop that in. And if you filled it out on your profile under my settings, it will pull in those links for you, so that we don't have to click on each one and then drop it here. But you can kind of see with Brian's, it has Brian's Facebook link here for him already. And let me go ahead and delete that so it's not taking up room. This is one particular listing, but if you had another one, you could just drag and drop this in and add that in. It's just the same thing. Type in an MLS ID number, address, or it'll pull in your listings as well, which is really good. If you happen to be co-listing with someone on your team, you could drag in one of these agent blocks in, drag them in, find your team member. So maybe this is Ashley. Ashley, if you're on here, I'm sorry for picking on you. And it drops it right in for you. So that way you're like, well, I want to make sure my team is on here too. You absolutely can do that here.
Great for open house ideas. If you open house for somebody else.
Sorry, what was that, Brian?
I was saying, great idea for if you're hosting open house for another agent's listing, it'd be a great idea to combine those two together.
Exactly, because it happens a lot. I hear it all the time. Like, well, I'm hosting this on behalf of somebody. How can I make sure they're also on this email? Use that agent block. Just drop it right in and add them. You can even add text in here saying that this is hosted by somebody. You're hosting it, but this is the listing agent's information.
Hold on just a second. Yes.
Could you do that for like preferred vendors? If you have a lender that's hosting it with you, like co-hosting or
She's asking, could we do it with a lender if somebody is, a sponsor vendor, could you add them in there as well?
So I mean, if you wanted to, because this is editable. So what you could technically do if you wanted, drag this over, just select someone random, and then you can edit the text that's there if you wanted to. So you'd be like, yep, let me replace this photo, let me put your information in.
So yes, it's doable.
It's doable. You just have to edit the information.
Say thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. It's a great question. kind of another way, if you wanted to not necessarily do that, you could always drag in things like columns just to show you. It's going to take a second to load, and then drag the image block into like the content, the first column. I don't have a photo here. Wait, yes, I do. I lied. I have a bunch of photos on my computer. Please ignore all the Taylor Swift stuff. My daughter's birthday party is Taylor Swift. But I could do it this way, and then in the content to box, type in the vendor information if I wanted to. So two
Cool.
different ways you can do that.
Thank
Like,
you.
That's getting creative with columns.
That works.
Let me
Thank
get rid
you.
of it. Yeah, you're very welcome, Brian. All right, let me get rid of that so that it's not clogging up. Yeah, so that's at least creating your template. And then one thing I want to show you before I tap save and continue. Right now, what we're looking at is how it looks on desktop. Let's all be real for a second. I always open up all my emails on my phone. It is rare I open up on my computer unless I'm like, I really need to see what they're saying, or I need to open up this attachment. You can toggle right here to preview what this would look like on a mobile device. What I would recommend doing, because sometimes it looks wonky on screen, but once you actually send it out, it adjusts and corrects it. You can send it to yourself first before sending this out to your contacts here. So just a recommendation. I like doing that just to make sure everything looks proper. It takes like an extra like five minutes of your time just to do that little bit of extra work and make sure it looks great because it makes an impression. And if for any reason you're like, I hate this template after you picked it, on the left-hand side, you can quickly change your templates in and out. The only thing is if you did make any changes and then you change the template, it does not carry over changes. Just want to point that out for you all. But once you're done and you're happy with this, you're like, this is amazing, I'm excited, you're going to tap save and continue. It's going to pull in that list of agents from the agent network list that generated. They're all blind carbon copies, so they're not going to know that you sent it to 300 other agents. It's going to look like you sent it just to them. And then this is true for any email that you're sending out a Rechat with the marketing template. What you could also do right from here is include all your contacts, and you can also include other 6 app agents by tapping our agents. And you could select the office, the agent, whatever have you. So if I want everyone in BCO to get this, all those agents at the BCO office are going to get that. And you could, if you wanted to, also add your tags it in from this list as well. So if you wanted to get it one and done, you absolutely can. You don't have to create it just for agent network, just for that list of agents. Unless you were like, well, I want a different email for my contacts, then you can do that here.
Well, I'm recording this on this side so that all these people can go back and look at it. So I can go back and look at it later. Because that right there that's amazing that you can send all of that information out to everyone. And I mean, you could pretty much hit everybody in the Metroplex with just one email.
Which people do all the time.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
they
never
did it.
figured out.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you for showing that. That's really good.
Oh, absolutely, you're welcome. Then you're going to type in your subject line. I'm going to give us a shameless plug. We do have a workshop on writing winning subject lines. So if you're struggling, attend it or at least register and get the recording. It is really helpful. Here at the bottom, you can attach additional files. This more option controls your notifications. So every time someone opens or clicks the emails, you can get a notification for it if you want to. No, if you don't want to drag your inbox, which is completely understandable, just take this, click on it, and they'll toggle it off. And I'll show you under insights, just in case you forget, where you can always toggle it off after the fact. You have your clock that's going to allow you to schedule it out. What I always recommend doing, just as like a little tip for everybody, because if you hit send, it sends out immediately. There's not a recall button. You don't get a 10-second grace period like you do in Gmail. It goes out immediately. I recommend just scheduling it out maybe for an hour out, a half hour out. So that way, if you're going through it and you realize there's a mistake on it, you have the opportunity to edit that. I know that seems like such a small thing, but I see it quite often where an agent sends out an email and then they realize they did something wrong. And now they're having to send a correction email. I actually just saw this happen yesterday. They put the placeholder as their own name instead of the recipient first name. So they sent out like over 700 emails with their own name on it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so just a little tip for you all. Just give yourself that grace. That way you can read it, make sure it actually looks correct. Because you can see right here, it says recipient first name. And by setting up and just giving yourself that window, you can check it just to make sure everything's absolutely great.
excuse me just a second. Hey, guys that are online watching this, if you guys, I see several people have raised their hand. We can't, she can't see you. So if you would like to ask a question, you can type it into the comments and I can see that, or you can send me a text message to my cell phone and then I can ask her the question of whatever you're asking me, whichever way you prefer.
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Is there ever going to be a way for us to insert a PDF into those? Because that's huge for like something that's,
Add a file, move down at the bottom. She said
Yes.
add the PDF.
where is it?
Yeah, so when you tap a save and continue, you get this email tray. It's this paper clip right here. So you can something for reveals,
That's
your
where you attach the
Dropbox.
file.
Where you,
I know, but that's not what I want. Well, okay, so not that specifically. Like if I was creating my own design and I didn't use a template or anything else, and I wanted to upload a clickable PDF into my design to send out to everybody, not to attach it to the actual email, but to put it into my design.
let me see if that's possible. Let me see if you have blank layouts. Okay,
You can
have
do
blank-
it. That's what I do on my blank ones is add it. You can.
A PDF,
Again-
though? Because I've never been able to add a PDF.
Can you
I
just-
You just need to save it as like a picture instead of a PDF from Canva.
Kristen, we can't hear you. Just, it's not
Yeah.
translating the same way.
So maybe, Kayla, maybe uploading a PDF into the gallery and then uploading it there as a photo and then
Yeah.
to make,
Let me try it that way.
I've not
and
been
then to make it,
successful.
to make it clickable, what I would do is, you have the link there on the right, you can add buttons.
Mhm.
And then you can add buttons to make it clickable to where you want it to go, and provide the URL.
So-
And then like,
Yeah, I'm not seeing, because I just tried uploading a PDF and it's not accepting it. I'm wondering if there's, this is something I'm gonna have to test afterwards and I can let Brian know. Because I know on the back end of the admin perspective, they can upload PDF assets to the teams. But then I just want to test it to see if it's clickable and if it can then be shared via email. So I will text that after this and I will share that information with Brian.
I'll put it- I'll
That
put it
would
in
be
Slack.
great, because like because I've just found like if I create something in Canva I could do a lot more in Canva, and if I could upload it here, I could do it, disperse it much easier than what I can just on my own. But I've never found a
Yeah.
way for us to upload a PDF, and that's huge because if I try to make it the PDF a JPEG, it shrinks it up when it sends it out.
Yeah,
Like, makes it
yeah.
super
I figured
small.
that. Yeah, I figured that is the case why you're saving it as a PDF.
Yeah.
I work in the print industry, so I totally get why you're like the PDF is just it stays crisp no matter what size.
And I think that would be a huge asset.
Kristen-
Rechat to do that.
Kristen said you just need to save the graphic as an image instead of a PDF and then you can. That's how I send mine.
But it's every time I've done it, it shrinks it up.
It may be the software that you're using to do that.
It appears that it shrinks it, but when a person's actually looking at it on an email, it doesn't appear that way. It appears normal. If you want me to like send you what it looks like as an email, I can, but it just
Doesn't
looks like it's shrinking.
I tested it on my own. It comes across on my email, like on my laptop or my computer, small.
Did you
Okay.
maybe try PNG? I think that's what mine automatically does is PNG instead of JPEG.
And then Megan says, I don't have the agent network tab on my Rechat. Megan Chow.
Oh, that's not any good. All right. Megan Chow. All right. We'll have Patty look into that and make sure we get that added in and we'll update that once it's done. You definitely should have it there at least.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I looked for it. I couldn't find it.
Oh,
I was
you're
kind of
welcome.
busy.
All right, so that's the agent network. I know we just kind of covered email templates, but I'm gonna show you where you can at least still find them outside of agent network as well. That's right under here under properties. You just find the subject for it. We're just gonna stick with open house. And what I love about this page, and that I'm not sure if you're familiar with it before, emailed, social posts, and stories were all just combined into one. And you have to scroll through to find it. You now have the toggles here to switch between just to see social posts, just to see stories, which I absolutely love because I'm a very big person on keeping things very organized, and this helps immensely. Same kind of concept. If you don't want to use Agent Network and you just want to hit your contacts, same thing. Just find your email, click into the template, tap next, and you're going to type in either your MLS ID number, your address. You also can see your deals and your MLS listings will be here on as well. You should have to scroll down if you have any active deals. If you have any private listings or just something that hasn't hit the market yet, and you want to get something out, you can always input an off-market property here. You just have to add your photos, fill the applicable fields here. I will tell you, if you don't have a piece of information, just put a 0 in it. Otherwise, it won't allow you to proceed. And you can change the listing URL to an email or phone number and put in a property description as well. And it'll build out the email template for you. It won't cause any duplication or anything like that. That's always a big question that we get when that happens. That, oh, I already created the off-market properties that now I'm going to create like a duplicate entry. No, it'll just be that one email. And then, of course, you can still manage it afterwards. That's your email templates. I know we just went over a deep dive of it, so I'm not going to show that again. But let's talk about social posts. I think this is really exciting. So if you're not aware of this, you can connect an Instagram account to Rechat. The catch or caveat with that is that it does have to be that professional Instagram account. It has to be linked to a business Facebook page. Those two have to be married together. And then once you do that, you're able to, under My Settings, under Connected Accounts, there's a section right here. Brian has his linked that you're able to tap Connect Instagram via Facebook. And now with that enabled, you're able to schedule Instagram posts out right from Rechat. So you can schedule everything out in advance. If you don't have that set up that way, that's absolutely okay. You're still able to, and I'll show you here, download it, text the link to yourself, and you can still access the social posts from the mobile app and still share it out to Instagram as long as you have Instagram downloaded and installed on your phone. Let's look at some of the templates here. So I want to show you how to edit them. Very simple. Oh, this was actually beautiful. We're going to use this one right here. We're going to tap next. We're going to choose our property here. Let me find an MLS listing just by scrolling down right here. It's going to drop this into the template. I know we're making changes to the templates to allow for some more editing. I just don't know when that's coming up, but I know that our team's working on that functionality. I can tap the photo, just like I can on the other template, swap it out, edit this. I can drag my own images here, and I can see all the text on the left-hand side. Now that I think about it, I do like this, but I'm like, not like someone has to read it. If I have my listing, and again, I can edit all of this just by simply tapping into the fields. I'm like, well, I want this to say Ave instead of Avenue. Boom, I can make that adjustment. I'm going to tap Save and Continue. And I apologize if I did not point this out before. The save is going to save it to your account and put it under My Designs. Continue will still save it, and you can still email it out or schedule it out. And so you can see here for this, I have the capability to download the file. I just tap download, and right there it downloads as a PNG. And now I can share that out however I want. I can text it to myself, and I'm not going to do this to you, Brian.
You can send it. That's fine. You can send it. I'd love to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate the permission. Not everyone likes to just go ahead and do that, but so I appreciate it. But that's going to send a hyperlink to your phone that will then open up this social post within the mobile app, so that way you can share it. So that's really great, especially if you don't have an Instagram account connected to Rechat. I can tap Get Link here to share out this way, or if I do have my Instagram connected, I would tap Social Media. This one, all right, which template is this? Because normally if it's correct, it will That is Rechat Social 16. Okay, I'm gonna have our team fix that. Let me find another one. Because it should have, because it has to be the square dimensions like you're seeing. Let me see if this one works. I apologize, that one didn't want to work for me. All right. Patty, can we look into some of their social media templates hereafter? But normally what this will allow me to do is select my Instagram account I connected. It'll give me the clock icon, just like it does for emails, so I can schedule it out. Or I can tap to send and it posts it immediately. There's not a delay there. It's on your Instagram right away. It doesn't share it to Facebook, so then you can have settings on Instagram that allows you to share it to Instagram and Facebook at the same time. However, if you do it through the app, it will prompt you with that option. I do that every single workshop. I talk about this, and I always get text messages directly after asking if I'm now selling homes. Even though my friends know I'm not a real estate agent, they're like, "Are you selling homes now?" No, I am not. I'm gonna apologize if you can hear my insane dogs. One sounds like it's being murdered upstairs.
It's not loud here.
They are very loud. Give me one sec. I'm gonna shut my door.
No, it's fine. One I sold about 9 years ago.
Oh, okay, 140.
I am so sorry about my dogs. Like I said, one sounds like he's being murdered upstairs. That's what he's not. He just likes to yell.
That's fine.
So I saved this. Maybe I posted Instagram. Maybe I didn't, but now it is there and I can save it. And just to show you where this all is, and Brian, I will clean up your account after. If I tap draft, I can see every previously designed I have tapped save and continue on, and I can always go back in and edit this. So if I need to resend this again, because I'm like, oh, we're having another open house, I can very simply click into this and tap next, and then change it to my cards delight. So it's very easy. You don't have to go into the templates, find the template you previously used. You can just go to my designs and draft, even if you sent it out already, and edit this to say whatever you need to say. So that's their social templates. I'm going to share stories really quick as well, just because we're here. This one is just has the one template. Let's do just listed here. Stories. Very simple concept. The only difference with the stories for Instagram is you cannot share it from Rechat to Instagram on desktop, but you can on mobile. And it's the same editing process here. Just tapping into it, changing out your photo, changing some text, and tapping to save and continue. Said I like doing the link so that way I can immediately tap it and it takes me right to the mobile app. And you can see it has all these options about to share it to Instagram. All right, I think we had, I want to make sure I've got everything here. So we did agent network, email templates. While we're here, I'm going to show you the single property website so that we can also advertise. I know we're coming close to time. It's just right here. You do have this one template available. Again, you can do entering your MLS ID number or address.
Use the Rector Avenue.
All right.
It's pretty. It's my most colorful listing I think I've ever had.
Well, that's always good to hear. So you can see it immediately creates the website for us. That's pretty quick. These are for the most part ready to send. So I'll go through it here so you can see the image. I can tap and swap it out. So I'm like, you know what? I want this beautiful interior shot at the top instead. And of course you can edit the text here. Actually, that's really pretty.
Look at that house. Y'all sell that house. I've had one showing in a month.
Really?
Oh,
Or this one's where?
South Hills. It's actually Wilshire. But it's really pretty.
You think it's because it didn't have a garage or something?
Maybe it's converted.
Yeah.
You don't want to do an open house, right?
Not yet. They're moving to Mississippi in 3 weeks, and then we'll talk.
Oh my goodness. We can see all the property information. This is, again, all can be changed. You can link to external documents in a brochure. So if you do have a hyperlink for something, I can tap documents and then paste my link in here. Or if you don't, you can just simply tap onto it and tap the trash can icon and get rid of it. But if I don't have that, and get rid of it, or you can just replace the text with something else there if you wanted to. You do have an image slider here. So if we actually tap into the photo and then tap manage images. It by default has 5, but you can include more if you wanted to. So if you're like, yeah, I want to include like this one with this like beautiful carpet, I would just tap the plus button and it adds it right to the end of it. Or I'm like, you know what, I don't want this shot, I can get rid of it. And all I have to do is to click to add. Really no limitation on that. Tap confirm, and now you can see it's been updated to the 8 images here as well. I do have my features. It has your information, and just like the email templates, you do get the trays on the right hand side to add additional things to this. You can do the floor plan, you can do a Matterport, and it's just clicking and dragging right in. And I do have one here as well, but I'm going to just grab really quickly. Come on. My computer does not want to behave today. I'm going to grab that link, paste it right in, tap confirm. Come on. Normally this will go ahead and add it in. It just might be me and my computer. It normally goes right in, and now you have your Matterport added in. You can add videos to this. You can add another image slider. If you don't want to add all how many you want in here, you can create 2. It's just as simple as clicking and dragging it over. You can also add additional agent information here as well if you needed to. And then once you're done, or if you just want to save it and come back to it, you do have to tap publish. It does then generate a URL for you that's provided by Rechat. That's usually a combination of the address. So 4929-rector-avenue.rechat.site. You can copy it. You can also purchase your own domain through GoDaddy.com. So if you're like, yep, I just want this to be Rector Avenue, I can hit search here. And what's great, this does expire after a year, so you don't have to worry about it charging your card. Just select which one you want. Or if you're like, I want to do briandisgreat.com, go ahead and do that too, actually. And you can see your domain agreement. We're going to pretend we read it, and then you just put your card information at the end, and then it becomes active.
Wow. I didn't know it did that.
Yeah. It takes a minute to do it. And you can, there is the option to do like your own custom domain. So if you have your own website that you want to connect to it, you just drop it right in and tap connect. So this is a brand new feature that's on there. I think I just noticed it yesterday. I was like, this is brand new. So once you're done building this out, I'm going to refresh my page here, and it's going to show anything I've created. So it's going to just take a second. So if you forget to grab, okay, does not want to behave today. But normally what I could do from here is I'm able to see my template, and there's 3 dots, and I can copy the link at that point. And I wanted to show you what a live one looks like, but
Sometimes it just takes a minute to load
No,
everything.
that's a
yeah.
default. It's a default.
Yeah, it loads, I promise. I just did a workshop on this yesterday. Everything loaded perfectly. But you're going to be able to copy the link, edit that there, and the edits take effect right away. Just make sure to tap your publish button, and it saves your work for you. It doesn't like post it on Google's search engine or anything like that right away, so you don't have to worry about it being on Google if someone goes to search the address. So, and the provided one that's provided to you by Rechat, that's you at no cost. But if you want to get fancy, feel free to purchase the one through GoDaddy.com. And then last but not certainly least is actually creating your open house registration page. 2 ways you can come to create and tap open house registration page. You can also go to transactions and tap open house right here, or go through that one-stop shop I showed you on today's page, and you can access all of it here. So I'm going to go ahead and tap new open house. I can, again, just like everything else, put my MLS ID or address in. Let me find, it might be easier to type in Rector Avenue. There it is. No, I just saw it 2 seconds ago. There it is. You can put a description that's only viewable to you on your end, the date and time. So I'm like, yep, this is going to be Saturday at 12 p.m. I can put that end time of 2, set reminders for myself. If I have the seller in my contact, I can add them to this, so that way it stays in their history for them. So that way over time, if you're like, you know what, Patty, we've had like 6 open houses, we're not getting bites, it might be time to bring the price down. You have that history built instead of being like, well, let me go back and see how many I had. I'm not sure off the top of my head. So very good to do that. And then you can tap save here. I apologize, the little Lucy button is blocking it. Save, it'll add it to this page, but if you wanted to take it a step further, you can tap edit guest registration page. And what this is going to be a digital signage sheet for your open house attendees. And then this works both online and offline. While I'm waiting for this to load, it does always take a minute. And so it works online and offline. So if you're going to your open house, you create this in advance, you're going to come to that under transactions and open house. I'll show you where to open it. You're going to open this page up. Don't power off your device. Don't turn it off. Just simply close it shut. But now I can edit this page, swap out the photo. You cannot edit the address, even though the field is clickable, but you can update the time here. The only fields that are required are first name, last name, and email address. Once you're done editing, tap save and continue. And then just make sure you tap save here as well. Here's that open house registration page, and you're just going to again find it under transactions and open house. So now, congratulations, everyone. We just made a scientific achievement. We're all time travelers. You're going to come here, tap guest registration page. It opens up in a new tab for you. And now your open house attendees can sign in. So I'm going to sign in. Brian, looks like I might be buying a house from you.
Yay.
I decided not to put my phone number in. I'm not working with any realtor. I'm going to tap submit. The whole page clears out. I'm a huge true crime person, and I personally love that. Now my second person comes in. It's John. It's my dad. He's looking to buy a house now too. I don't know his email, but he's working with Thomas as his realtor. He puts that in. He types submit. Now, if you're not connected to Wi-Fi, once you reconnect to Wi-Fi and internet hotspot, or if you are connected, this is going to start syncing all those contacts into your People Center for you. And let's actually go back to our People Center, see what that looks like. We're going to go to People. And now you all are going to have hundreds upon hundreds of contacts. How do I now find those individuals that went to that open house? Go to add filter, open house, select it from my drop down. I can type in the address. Now, everybody who is signed in, did I not hit save for myself? I know I hit save.
I had 422 earlier and now 423, so I don't think you did save.
That's okay.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
normally I promise it works.
We saw the procedure.
You saw me sign in.
Where was it?
It's going to add those contacts for you. It's going to tag them as open house. Now for John, because he signed in with the realtor, if we tap into this and go to notes, so it also creates a note for you, we can see who he signed in with the realtor. So we're going to see all of that information. If I signed in myself correctly that first time, it would have tagged me as open house lead. So it's going to pick up on the information that they're pulling in, and it's going to tag them appropriately. So you don't have to worry about tagging them. I love this because it's a massive time saver. You don't have to worry about taking pen and paper with you, making sure that your pens work. Because that happens. You don't have to worry about reading someone's chicken scratch handwriting and trying to decipher if that's a 0 or an O, if that's a 5 or an S. My S's are questionable. Sometimes they look like 5s. They type it in for you. Granted, they can make a typo, but think about how much time you're going to save instead of sitting at your computer after an open house, typing all this information in, and then tagging them appropriately. All the work's done with you, and it took seconds to add them in.
And what tab was that under? That's what I was asking.
Transaction, open house,
What was that
or
again?
open house.
Okay, so go to transactions, because I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, it's under transactions, open house.
Okay.
Mhm. And right here as well, it'll tell you the registrants, and you can click on that, and it'll provide you that drop down. Oh, that's so strange that I may have, I already may be in your contacts then.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it looks like you may have. But so if they are, and I go to notes, it's going to show that person went to that open house too. So you can also, okay, it's being crazy. Normally it adds the notes like we saw with John, but if John kept going to your open houses over time, you're going to see that history under his contact record as well. So you can be like, hey, what's going on? You're not finding your dream house with me. Let's let's get you settled and into a house. So definitely really, really powerful. But yeah, that's the journey I wanted to take you all on. I hope you all took away something new,
Do you
or
have,
maybe it was just a refresher.
do you have a couple of minutes for Q&A? We've got a couple of people that have questions.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Patty told me a while ago that she has some questions. So I don't know if you're going to be able to hear her because her voice is coming through the TV. So Patty, if you want to ask a question, we'll see if this works.
Okay, perfect. And just so you know, can you hear me okay? Perfect. I have so many questions, but I'm going to get them to the ones that I have been blown away by what you've said, because I think the other ones I can probably figure out. So under your insights, do you have, you spoke about, I equate this to my CRM that I have mass emails where I can check on the performance and the click-throughs and when people open attachments so that I can see and hone in on those 15 people that really loved that. You said you have that capability, yes?
Yes. So I'm actually going to reshare it right now. I'm under Brian. So if I go to Sent, and I came here by going to Marketing and Insights. So let me try to find a good one under Brian's, but I'm seeing a lot of happy birthday ones, so we might just be stuck with, with that. But
I send a lot of stuff. Happy birthday is pretty much what goes through Rechat at this point for me.
Yeah,
Everything goes through other places.
But I can see here how many recipients I sent to, how many successfully delivered. Now, if it bounces or they unsubscribe, on this page, it would tell you if it was bounced. If they unsubscribed, it actually also applies a tag of unsubscribed as well. I can see they opened this email 3 times. They just didn't click on anything. I can tap activities and I can see the dates and times that he opened this. So he opened this at 9:04. Maybe he got really excited and was like, Kelly, look, they sent me this beautiful happy birthday email. And now he shows Kelly. Or maybe now they have someone else come over. They're like, look, they sent me this beautiful happy birthday email. And what I love about this, you'll notice as I'm hovering over, if they're in your contacts, you have a button to email them to follow up directly from here with them. And if you have a marketing template, you could tap My Designs and drop that in.
Okay.
So you don't even go back into Marketing Center. So if you're like, they keep clicking on my open house email, I'm going to keep sending this to them.
Okay. And then in your, you hit on another question that I had were like your email reputation scores to make sure that you don't get flagged on the bad list, whatever that is. Or if an email bounces, it has an opportunity where maybe you could text or call that person to get an updated email. So all of that has notifications. Is that within the client lead file, or is there a place that you can look at that in bulk? So let's say you send a open house or your monthly newsletter to 1,300 people, and of that 1,300, 5 of them bounce. You can click into those 5 people and go and update that record so that you don't continually send things to people that either unsubscribe or bounce.
Exactly. So we can see right here, maybe Jessica's bounce. We could right from here, we could send her another email. Otherwise, we could tap view profile, takes us right into her contact record, and we can update her email address if we need to.
Okay.
So it would show you an entire list and it would say in red, bounced, unsubscribed if that was the case.
Okay.
And when they're unsubscribing, they're only unsubscribing from your email. So if Brian also has them as a contact and they didn't unsubscribe from Brian, they'll still get his emails. They just won't get any more from you.
Okay. So there can be within the brokerage, if they're not all attached together, you can have several contacts that are duplicated. Like I could have Amy Jones and Brian could have Amy Jones in their book of business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's no, and that makes sense. That makes sense.
I think so. So Brian has some of his contacts that are like on a shared profile. It only goes to the primary email on file. So for like, it was like Alan and Kelly. He did have Kelly's information as the spouse partner in there. Kelly wouldn't get an email unless you added her as with her own contact record.
Okay. So there's no way. So yeah. So in most CRMs, you have a primary contact and or primary email, and that's who gets all of your emails or your marketing information. So that makes sense. So the next thing I have a question about is on the agent network. You said that, you know, you can put, which I think is very interesting. So you pull that, and those are only top agents that have sold in the area. Are those agents, you're able to add to them? Are they, you said they were tagged, so they're in your book of business. So you could just send to just agents, or if they're tagged, you could send, like if you wanted to send a monthly newsletter, you wouldn't necessarily need to send that to your agents. You could send it to your entire book of business.
Yes. Yep. So if you wanted to through agent network, you could add them to your contacts. It tags them as agent network for you. So if you're like, you know what, I'm having really great success with this group of agents, seeing my emails, I'm going to add them, tag them as agent network. And then going forward, when you go in the marketing center in an email, if you were to type that tag of agent network in, it's going to pull that list of people that you've added. Okay.
Is that something that can be downloaded?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go into people, what you could do in this case, and I know it doesn't have it, but if I hit add filter and tag, and I'm like, I just want to see my past client list.
Can you
and
add?
So that about like half of it, I could then select this entire list of individuals. In this case, if you did agent network, you could then tap export. You could do export for mailers, export for email, or do a full export where it downloads everything in the contact record.
Okay, fantastic. And are your tags, do you have the ability to add custom tags? So like if you wanted to tag people when you're talking to them and they're a first-time home buyer, or they're a vendor, or they're a renter, so that you can then go back and pull those tags and say, I want to pull all my renters and send them a first-time home buyer or a great program that's available to get them out of renting. Do you have that capability?
Absolutely. So a few ways that you can add custom tags. You can come through here, click on the tags field, and you could type it in. So if this is a first-time home buyer, you'll notice it's not pulling like a drop-down list.
Yeah.
I can just click add first time and then do a bulk tag. Or I can, if I wanted to, come to my settings and manage tags, and I could add it through here if I wanted to. Then I'd have to go to the people center and then go back and add it. But
okay. Yep.
if you add it on the center, it still adds it here for you to use too.
Okay. And then I won't take up more.
Patty, hang on just a second. We've only got about 5 minutes left here. Clarissa had a question. Let me get Clarissa's question in real quick. And then if there's more time, I'll let you ask a couple more. Clarissa, go ahead.
Mine actually is a little bit along these lines, and kind of tag teams on this. So if I add a tag, let's say I add a tag of newsletter mailer, and then I want to do a batch recording. How do I do a batch recording in my account or my contacts?
What do you mean by batch recording?
Like let's say I've got 400 contacts, but I only send out a newsletter to 100 of them once a month as a mailer. Is there a way to batch record that?
I don't think so, because I know you can filter out this page by the individuals. That you could add the tag to an email, but from there, I don't think there's a way to then get who the group was outside of that.
I'm just wondering if maybe I had it in that tag. I guess I could tag them with what it is and then sort the tag and then just click them and hit record.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because you can, when you filter this list out, I'll show you what the options come on, go away. Nope. Ignore Lucy. When we do add filter and tag, so if you hold up, we're gonna pretend we did newsletter here. I'm just gonna work with past request client. I'm moving too fast for Rechat. It's like, what are you doing, Kayla? So if I do add filter and then tag past client, or your newsletter in your case, that's going to pull everything up. And then I could select this entire list and I get these additional options. to do tag. I can roll them to a flow, export it. And then something else you could do is if I select certain individuals, you'll notice I get a lot more options here at the bottom where I can now just email those individuals, send out a marketing piece, or create some type of event for them. So if you wanted to record that, like, oh, I have to meet with them or send out an individual email, you could do it this way if you needed to. You just have to you can't select the entire list. You'd have to pick and choose individuals, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But they can have multiple tags, so why don't you just choose them and then tag them with newsletter?
Yeah.
That's what I would do. And that
Yeah.
way they're still under past client, but then they're also under newsletter. So it's going to pull them when you want to send that newsletter out.
Yeah, and you could technically create what's called a smart list. I know we didn't touch upon about that. I'm going to use Thomas as an example for this. So he's an agent in his neighborhood. And he has another agent that also lives in his neighborhood. And what he has done is he's created a smart list so that way he only targets his neighbors that are not the agent. And he does, we're going to say that pretend this tag is his neighborhood name. You would do tag again and then is not. And then whatever tag you don't want it to be or tag is. So if I'm like, I don't want this to be buyers. I don't know if it's going to change the result or not. It did. But now I could create a custom list. So if I'm like, yeah, this is going to be my newsletter of past client buyers instead of including sellers. And if I tap save new list, when I go to send out a marketing piece, I could type this in newsletter past client buyer, and whoever's on this list that I captured will get my email, and it gets managed through your tag. So if I removed Josh as a buyer, he would fall off of this list. I wouldn't have to do anything special to make sure he doesn't get it.
Okay. Patty, you had another question. I think we've got, if we've got just a minute more, Kayla.
So just one question on the open house registration. Are any of those fields mandatory, phone number, email, or do you, if they just type their name, would that be all that they'd have to put in?
It's first and last name and email that are required. Phone number and realtor are optional.
Okay. And it tags it when it comes into your system as a lead source, for instance, so that you can always know where these leads come from. If you met somebody at an open house, that lead will automatically, if it doesn't recognize it's already in your system, meaning it wasn't somebody that somebody attended to Brian's previous open house. If they're already in the system, will it just tag it like, hey, they've gone to this many open houses?
Yeah, so it should still have a note for them. Why mine wasn't working is beyond me, but pretty much as long as they don't fill in that realtor field, it'll tag them as a lead for you. So it'll still say open house and tag them as lead. So that way you can truly identify it. It also adds on their contact record the origin source saying that they came in from an open house registration page too. So you'll know exactly where it got generated from.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Very, very, very helpful.
I do have one more question. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. No, do not apologize. This time is for you.
So the tag. So, if I have a client as a buyer and seller, I have them in as my past client, but also as a buyer and seller. That's just how I did it. Didn't know if I'm doing it wrong. So if I send an email out and I'm tagging my past clients, my buyers, my sellers, are they getting it 3 times then?
No, they'll only get it the one time.
Okay.
So you can have 20 tags on them.
Okay.
And if you apply it all, it's only going to send it the one time.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So yeah, Rechat recognizes the email. So if there's a duplicate email, it's not going to send materials twice. It will only send once.
Okay. Thank you.
No, great questions.
Anyone else have any more
Guys,
questions?
wish we had more time for everybody.
Well, we sincerely appreciate you guys putting this together. And yes, I think we would like to do this type of training on transactions, just to go through it and see it. We've done some of the stuff and looked at some of the videos, but it's always nice when people can actually ask the questions and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I'm experiencing. Is there a workaround? Is there something here? So everybody, any other questions before we let them go? Everybody's shaking their heads no. So Kayla, thank you so much for your time. Patty, thanks for setting this up. Appreciate you guys.
Very well done.
Yeah, we'll be in touch to find out when the next, training works for you guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Patty, Clarissa, thank you guys for being a part. Thanks for asking questions, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.